Success is built in invisible hours, not public moments. When people look at someone successful, they often admire the final picture, the polished outcome, the achievements, the recognition, but rarely do they pause long enough to consider the layers beneath that success. Success is like a masterpiece painting displayed in a gallery. Everyone sees the finished artwork, but only the artist knows the thousands of brushstrokes, mistakes, corrections, and long nights that were invested to create it. In the same way, the world applauds the visible moments. Winning the race, closing the deal, building the business, losing the weight, mastering the skill, but the real victory happens quietly in the invisible hours nobody sees. Those invisible hours are the early mornings when the alarm goes off and enthusiasm hasn't awakened yet. They are the late nights when the rest of the house is asleep, but your mind is still alive, still pushing, still building. They are the hours when no one is watching, no one is applauding, and no one is encouraging you. They are the hours when you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Think about it. Every champion you admire, every leader you respect, every successful person you've ever looked up to, none of them became great during the moments you saw them. Their greatness was revealed in public, but it was created in those quiet, unseen moments. While others slept, they studied. While others complained, they practiced. While others waited for motivation, they relied on discipline. That is the difference. Not talent, not luck, not perfect conditions, but mastery of the invisible hours. And here's the part most people avoid thinking about. Invisible hours expose your truth. They reveal your real habits, your real priorities, your real commitment. Anyone can pretend to be focused in public. Anyone can look hardworking when someone is watching. But the hours nobody sees, those hours don't lie. They expose whether you truly want the life you say you want, or whether you're simply entertained by the idea of it. Success demands privacy before it ever offers publicity. It demands you show up before dawn when it's uncomfortable. It demands you stay focused at night when it would be easier to give up. It demands you practice the skills no one applauds yet, build systems no one respects yet, and make decisions no one understands yet. And most people don't lose because they're incapable. They lose because they never learn to value the private process. They only want the visible results. They forget that every shining achievement comes from thousands of unattractive, unimpressive, unseen actions repeated consistently. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect level of motivation, or the perfect amount of support, you'll wait forever. Success is not built when the world feels right. Success is built when you decide the invisible hours matter more than the opinions around you. The moment you start honoring those unseen hours, your life begins to shift. Slowly at first, silently at first, but unmistakably. Soon, people will ask how you transformed, how you improved, how you elevated. They won't know the truth. You weren't lucky. You were working when nobody saw. Your private discipline shapes your public results. If you want to understand someone's future, don't look at their goals. Look at their daily discipline. Goals tell you what a person wants. Discipline tells you what a person will get. The quiet, private decisions you make every single day determine the size of your public victories. Why? Because discipline is the internal engine of success. It is the invisible force that builds confidence, competence, and character long before the world ever notices. Private discipline is the ability to act correctly without needing applause. It is the willingness to do what's necessary instead of what's convenient. It is the courage to build yourself up even when no one is checking on you. And this is where the real separation happens. Most people rely on pressure. They only work hard when someone is watching. But the great ones rely on principle. They work hard because their future demands it. Think of private discipline as an invisible scoreboard. Every day, life gives you a set of choices. Wake up or snooze, learn or scroll, practice or postpone, build or complain. Every small choice becomes a vote cast toward the person you're becoming. And these votes accumulate quietly, without drama, until one day the public results appear. And by then, it's too late for anyone to question where they came from. You can never cheat the private hours. If you skip the work, it will show. If you stay committed, it will show. Discipline always reveals itself, even if it stays hidden for a while. The public sees the trophy, but not the training. They see the transformation, but not the repetitions. They see the success, but not the sacrifices. That's why private discipline matters more than public effort. In private, you shape the person you'll eventually present to the world. Private discipline also does something powerful. It builds self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, when you say, "I will do this," and you follow through, your confidence grows. You begin trusting yourself. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop betraying your potential. Suddenly, you're not chasing motivation anymore. You're operating from identity. You're no longer trying to be disciplined. You are a disciplined person. The world rewards discipline, but it cannot give it to you. Discipline is earned in the dark, between you and the quiet voice inside that knows exactly what you're capable of. And every day that you choose discipline over distraction, your future shifts a little more in your favor. Private discipline shapes public results because it prepares you long before opportunity arrives. It builds the strength, skill, and character required for success. And when the moment finally comes, when the spotlight hits, you won't be nervous, unprepared, or surprised. You'll simply be stepping into the results you've already earned. Small daily wins compound into extraordinary outcomes. We often underestimate the small things we do each day because they don't feel powerful in the moment. A 5-minute practice, a single page read, a short workout, one disciplined hour, none of these look like life-changing actions. They look ordinary, they look insignificant, they look like something that couldn't possibly move the needle. But that's the deception. Greatness is built from the small, consistent wins that quietly compound over time. People love dramatic transformations. They admire the before and after moments. But those visible breakthroughs rarely happen in a burst. They happen because someone chose to show up every single day, even when results were invisible. Success is like interest on a savings account. It grows slowly at first, so slowly that most people quit too early. But once momentum builds, the results arrive faster than anyone expects. The biggest mistake people make is thinking small wins don't matter because they don't immediately change their life. But consider this. Every major success story begins with a small decision that looked unimportant at the time. The first workout that changes nothing. The first skill practice that feels clumsy. The first dollar saved that looks meaningless. The first hour of learning that seems unproductive. Every one of those actions is a seed planted in the soil of your future. And seeds don't grow instantly, they grow eventually. Success doesn't respond instantly to your effort, it responds faithfully. If you plant consistently, growth is guaranteed. Small wins also create something even more powerful than progress. They create identity. When you show up day after day, even for a little while, you begin seeing yourself differently. You begin feeling capable. You begin believing in your own competence. And once your identity changes, your behavior naturally follows. Suddenly, growth is not something you do. It becomes something you are. Think about the difference between someone who makes one big, intense effort and someone who makes small, steady efforts every single day. The intense person burns brightly for a moment and then disappears. The consistent person builds slowly, quietly, and then becomes unstoppable. Why? Because consistency compounds. It multiplies discipline. It magnifies effort. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. Here's something most people never realize. The small daily win is not small, it is symbolic. It means you honored your promise to yourself. It means you kept moving forward. It means you refused to quit. And that matters more than any number, any measurement, or any outsider's opinion. Every day you show up, no matter how small the action, you are casting a powerful vote toward your future self. Over time, those votes accumulate, forming a new reality. One day, you'll look back and barely recognize the person who struggled to begin. One day, you'll realize the transformation didn't come from one big moment. It came from hundreds of tiny actions repeated faithfully. This is why the most successful people focus on daily habits, not occasional intensity. They understand the secret. Small wins build momentum, momentum builds confidence, and confidence builds a new life. Nothing great ever appears overnight, but everything great starts small. What you do when no one is watching determines your future. Every person has two lives, the one they show the world and the one they live privately. And it's the private life, the quiet, unseen hours, that decides everything about the future. When no one is watching, when no one is judging, when there's no applause, pressure, or supervision, that is when your true character shows, and your character is what shapes your destiny. Think about how much of your life is lived outside of the spotlight. Most of your hours are unseen. Most of your work is unobserved. Most of your decisions are made quietly, without anyone knowing. And those decisions, repeated day after day, determine whether you rise, stall, or fall behind. What do you do with the evening when everyone else relaxes? What do you do with the morning when the world is still asleep? What do you do with the free hour nobody else knows you have? Those hours are not empty. They are powerful. They are shaping you even when you're not aware of it. Successful people respect these hours. They understand that the future is built when the world is quiet. They use those periods to learn, practice, reflect, improve, and build the life they desire. They don't wait for motivation. They create it by acting. They don't rely on accountability. They rely on vision. They don't need encouragement. They encourage themselves through purpose. What you do when no one is watching is also the greatest test of integrity. Anyone can work hard when others are observing. Anyone can look disciplined when people are expecting results, but true discipline is invisible. True responsibility is silent. True ambition is revealed only in private behavior. When you do the right thing without recognition, you grow. When you stay consistent without applause, you strengthen your will. When you continue improving without validation, you evolve into a different version of yourself. Your future self is always paying attention. Even if nobody else sees your efforts, your future will. The body you want, the income you desire, the skills you dream of mastering, they are all built in the dark. And the day will come when your results will be too big to hide. People will call it luck, talent, or natural ability, but you will know the truth. Your future was created quietly, hour by hour, when no one was watching. People waste their private hours because they believe those hours don't matter. They scroll, procrastinate, avoid, delay, and distract themselves. But success isn't waiting in the big, dramatic hours. It's waiting in the boring ones, the ordinary ones, the hours you think no one will ever see. Whether you become disciplined or distracted in those hours determines the quality of the life you eventually live. If you use them well, your future expands. If you waste them, your future shrinks. The unseen hours are your greatest opportunity. They are where your future is shaped, molded, and built. Consistency is the silent bridge between average and exceptional. If there is one principle that separates the average from the exceptional, it is consistency. Not talent, not inspiration, not luck. Consistency, the ability to show up day after day, long after the excitement has faded, long after motivation has disappeared, long after people stop cheering. It's easy to begin. Anyone can start. The world is full of starters, but finishers? Finishers are rare. Finishers are the ones who understand that progress is earned through repeated action, not occasional bursts of effort. Consistency is the quiet discipline of honoring your goals, even on the days when everything inside you wants to quit. It's waking up tired but still committed. It's practicing when you feel clumsy. It's studying when distraction feels more tempting. It's building when the results are still invisible. It's doing the right thing simply because the future you want depends on it. Most people think success arrives suddenly. They assume there's a magic breakthrough, a lucky moment, a dramatic turning point. And yes, breakthroughs happen, but they happen because the person stayed consistent long enough to reach that moment. Success is not a lightning bolt. It's a sunrise, slow, steady, predictable, inevitable, but only for those who keep moving toward it. Consistency builds trust between you and your future. Every day you show up adds a layer of strength. Every small win adds momentum. Every repetition sharpens your skill. And something powerful happens when you stay consistent. Life begins to open doors for you. Opportunities appear. People notice your work ethic. Your confidence increases. Your identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who commits. That shift alone is enough to change your entire direction. Think about the difference between someone who works hard once a week and someone who works with moderate effort every day. The first person burns hot but dies out quickly. The second person grows slowly but steadily, and over time they pass everyone who was once ahead of them. Consistency compounds just like interest. It may feel slow in the beginning, but eventually it produces results so large that people can't ignore you anymore. Consistency is also the great equalizer. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. You simply need to be the most consistent. While others get bored, you stay the course. While others get discouraged, you continue. While others quit, you persist. This alone places you in a category very few people ever reach. But consistency doesn't happen by accident. It requires structure. It requires clarity. It requires you to stop negotiating with your excuses. You must decide that your future matters more than your comfort. You must decide that building your dream is more important than indulging your mood. You must decide that your life deserves daily effort, not occasional effort. And here's the truth most people never want to hear. Your level of consistency is your level of commitment. If you are inconsistent, it's not because you're weak, it's because you haven't fully committed. Once you commit deeply, consistency becomes natural. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It's not loud, but it is transformative. It is the silent bridge that carries you from where you are to where you want to be. Mastering the hidden hours makes life reward you in visible ways. When you master the hours nobody sees, something extraordinary begins to happen. Life starts rewarding you in ways everybody sees. The world might not know the countless moments of effort you invested, but it will eventually recognize the results. Quiet work always becomes loud success. Life has a way of paying people based on their unseen discipline. The student who studies in silence ends up speaking confidently in front of the crowd. The athlete who trains in the early morning ends up lifting the trophy. The entrepreneur who works late at night ends up building a brand people admire. The person who sacrifices comfort for growth ends up living a life others call lucky. But luck is rarely luck. It is the public reflection of private dedication. When you take control of the hidden hours, you take control of your destiny. Most people lose those hours to distraction, entertainment, and procrastination. They trade future rewards for present comfort. But those who win the hidden hours, those who protect their mornings, guard their evenings, and invest their free time, end up designing a life that feels far beyond ordinary. Mastering those hours also builds something priceless: self-belief. Every minute you spend developing your character, refining your skills, or strengthening your habits increases your inner confidence. You begin to realize, I am capable of more than I thought. That realization alone can change the direction of your life. And gradually, the gap between who you are and who you want to become begins to close. You gain momentum, you gain clarity, you gain purpose, and life starts responding to your effort. People start asking how you became so disciplined, how you became so confident, how you became so skilled, how you became so successful. They don't see the hidden hours you spent preparing for the moment you're now living. Most people want a life they didn't earn. They want results without commitment, rewards without discipline, visibility without effort. But life has an unbreakable rule. You cannot harvest what you never planted. Mastering the hidden hours is planting. Success is the harvest. You don't control how fast the results come, but you control how faithfully you work. You control how you use the hours that truly matter. And once you commit to mastering those unseen hours, the unseen forces of life begin aligning with you. Not immediately, not dramatically, but inevitably. So as you walk forward from this moment, remember this truth. Your future is being shaped in the hours nobody sees. Not the hours you post online, not the hours you talk about, not the hours you pretend to work, but the quiet, private, disciplined hours you commit to when no one is watching and no one is applauding. If you want a life that stands out, if you want results that feel extraordinary, if you want success that others can't explain, then win the hours nobody sees. Because the day you master those hours is the day your life begins rising in ways the world can't ignore.